Move or be moved! Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Press this on the side!
Move to Al-Akbar!
You are not welcome here.
No shadows, you agree! Don't be scared!
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Just like we rehearsed!
Move or be moved!
Let me weave you a verse.
Farewell!
Enhanced animal module to Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Time to say hello.
Ring cutter! Know my sword! Huh?
Shadow Raven! Stay clear! Animal hypostasis!
Go! You're free now! Time to say hello.
Let me weave you a verse.
Oz, reveal! Animal Tech 6308! Enhanced Animal Module 75! Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Rain outlines your fate.
Not too far now.
Let's move!
Controlled breathing.
You ready?
Observe. Be silent.
I never... Ugh. You're my target!
The long sleep beckons.
Start the clock! Ding dong!
Observe. Be silent. Night falls. Close your eyes. Night falls.
Off we go. I'm going in. Witness the power of Gubra. Now you shall perish. Shine down. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Boba, get them! Eat this!
Let me weave you a verse. Torn to oblivion. Everybody stand back!
Out of the frying pan!
Know my sword! Defensive mode engaged. Change of plan. Preparing for dust up. Swirl! Mark 2! With one heart, we pray. Leave this place. Surge. Three moves converge. Ultimatum protocol. For the everlasting forest.
Animal hypostasis.
Flame.